Welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a full body practice, not anything too difficult, but if you like to use blocks or strap or a pillow normally in your practice, or if you feel like maybe your hamstrings are a little bit tight and you'd like to have a block just to bring the floor closer, go ahead and grab one. You can also grab a chair if you'd like, something that you can grab onto to help with your balancing poses. And if you want to have some music to accompany your class today, I'm listening to one of mine from my Spotify playlist. It's from the 15th of July, 2019. So if you want to listen to what I'm listening to, that's what it is. I have already started the first song, so if you want to just pause me, grab your headphones, rewind, press play on the first song, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, just find yourself into a nice comfortable seat. We're going to take the palms to face up, close your eyes. Take a couple of cleansing breaths, inhaling really deeply through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. And then just slowly starting to bring that breath in and out through the nose. Sending deep, long breaths down to the lowest part of the belly. And see if each time that you take an inhale, you can lengthen it a little bit longer, and each time that you exhale, you can match the length of your inhale. Just using that breath to find anywhere in your body where you might be holding tension. Maybe try to lengthen up a little bit taller through the crown of the head. And just taking a moment to remind yourself that your body is in a different place than mine, so maybe your practice will look a little bit different or feel a little bit different than my practice, and that's okay. Just allowing your body to be where it needs to be today. On our next inhale, we're going to take a deep breath, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Reach as long as you can. Bring your palms to touch and lower them down to your heart center. We're going to take a moment to set an intention. So your intention can be anything that you're trying to accomplish, even if it's something simple like I'm ready to receive, or I'm in the present moment. Just whatever it is, repeating it in present tense as if you're accomplishing it right now. And then on your next inhale, reach the arms back up over the head, lengthen really long, and as you exhale, just roll yourself over and make your way into child's pose. Lengthen your belly really long along your spine, let your chest relax down. Maybe you can make a pillow with your arms. Try to keep that length in your breath. When you're ready for it, go ahead and extend the arms long. We're just going to take the left arm, thread it underneath the right, and then bring your right or your left ear down to the ground, relaxing into this twist. And then when you're ready for it, slowly press back to center and switch over to the other side. So your right arm will go under your left, bringing your right ear down to the floor. When you're ready, coming back to center, extend the arms long again. See if you can bring the knees a little bit wider, sink your chest down between them. And when you're ready, slowly slide your way up onto all fours. Bring your knees so they're right under your hips, your wrists right underneath your shoulders. Start to flow through cat and cow. See if you can make this a little bit more dramatic each time, sliding your shoulder blades down towards your hips as you take that cow pose, and as you exhale, try to pull your hips and ribs towards each other for that cat pose. And then finding your way back to center, tuck your toes under. We're just going to slide our hips up towards downward facing. Maybe adjust your hands so they're a little bit further forward. And then we're just going to come back and forth. So coming back down onto the knees really slowly. Start to bring your chest forward. And then pull your belly in. Send your hips all the way back up. Don't straighten your legs out all the way. And just move through this as it feels good for you. We're going to take one more like that. And then come back down to all fours. You're going to pick up your right knee, draw some big circles. Going one way and then the other. And then come back down through center, switch to the other side. And the other way. And then tucking the toes back under. We're going to find our way back to downward facing dog. Start to pedal the legs out. See if you can spread your fingers wider, pressing into the fingertips. And then we're going to walk our hands back to our feet. When you get there, grab opposite elbows, just rock side to side a couple of times. As you exhale, go ahead and release the arms. We're going to slide all the way up to standing. Reach up to the ceiling. Exhale all the way back down. Walk your hands all the way out, finding your way into a plank. Come down onto your knees. Shift your shoulders forward. We're going to go chest and chin down. Slide the legs back. And just lift the chest a little tiny bit. So you should be able to bring your hands off the ground. Exhale to lower back down. Press up through all fours. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. This time we're going to walk the hands forward to the top of the mat, not the hands, the feet. And then lengthen to come halfway up. Reach your spine long, see if you can roll your shoulders back. Send your inner thighs back. Exhale to fold down. Inhale, roll all the way up, lengthen towards the ceiling, reaching. Exhale, straight back down. Come halfway up to lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, fold down, step back with your right leg. Coming down onto that knee, top of the back foot, onto the floor, lengthen all the way up. Try to really press that right hip forward. On your exhale, take your hands back down, tuck your right toes, send yourself back towards a plank, onto the knees, chest and chin down. Lengthen up through your chest. And then press back through all fours, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. And then we're going to walk the hands back to the feet. Grab opposite elbows, rock side to side. And when you're ready, slowly slide all the way up, reaching towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold all the way back down. Walk your hands all the way out. Finding your way into a plank. You can stay on the toes this time if you want to. But come all the way down and maybe just lift a little higher in cobra. Little toes pressing down into the floor. Exhale to come down. Press through all fours. Downward facing. And then looking forward, walk your feet to the top of the mat. Come halfway up, lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, roll all the way up, lengthening, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, fold all the way back down. Come halfway up, lengthen. And we're going to step back with the left foot this time. Bringing the knee onto the floor, top of that foot onto the ground. Inhale up for your low lunge. Try to bring that left hip forward, lengthen up through the middle of your chest. On your next exhale, take the hands down. Step your way back to a plank. You can stay on the toes if you'd like. Slowly lowering. Still sticking with that cobra. So elbows are bent, hugging in. On your exhale, lower down. Press through all fours. Downward facing. We're going to walk our hands back to our feet. Come halfway up, lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, lengthen really tall. As you exhale, take your hands back down to your heart center, palms together. Bring your mind back to your intention. On your next inhale, lengthen the arms back up. Come up onto your tippy toes. If your feet aren't together, go ahead and bring them together. And then we're going to come down into crouching. So from here, all the way down to the floor. See if you can send your heels back. Maybe it is okay for you to send your heels back with your hands together, or maybe you need them on the floor. And then we're going to press all the way back to standing on the tippy toes. So use something to help you balance if you need to. Squeezing up through your glutes. On your exhale, we're going to come all the way back down. All the way back up again. One more time, coming all the way down. Hands onto the floor. Walk yourself all the way back out into a plank. Chaturanga if you'd like to. And then we'll find our way back to downward facing dog. Pedal your legs out. Take a moment here. When it feels good, your left leg is going to reach up. Try to keep your hips square to the floor so you're not opening up that left hip. See if you can send your right heel down to the ground. And then we're going to bring the left foot all the way forward, finding warrior one. Plant the foot down, plant your back foot, and lengthen all the way up. So keep trying to drive that right hip forward, and we're just going to make a movement here. So we're going to lengthen up, exhale, sink down. Maybe adjust your feet if you need to. On your next exhale, we're going to hold down. You're going to take that right hand, sweep it forward, adjust yourself, open into warrior two. See if you can sink a little bit further. Press into the heel of that front foot and out through the outer edge of the back foot. We're going to do the same thing. So we're just going to lengthen up. Don't straighten your leg all the way. Exhale, sink down. This next time that we sink down, we're going to hold. We're going to take the right hand, sweep it forward, down, bring the left or the right foot with it. So now we're in goddess. We're going to do the same thing. So we're going to lengthen up part way. Exhale back down. Try to press your knees open, bringing them in line with the little toes. Not the little toe, but maybe the middle toe. We're going to take our left arm, sweep it, bring your left foot with you, find your way into warrior two. Same thing, lengthening up. See if you can sink down lower. Try to lengthen out through those fingertips, even if your arms are getting tired. See if you can sink lower or down in that front leg. And then we're going to settle into our warrior two. Left arm's going to come forward again. Bring your hips with it. Adjust your feet. Find your way into warrior one. Same thing. Adjust your feet if you need to. We'll lengthen up just a little bit. Exhale, sink lower. See if you can bring that left hip forward. Last time here. Lengthen your arms up, finding that warrior one. And then we're going to take the hands down and send the right leg all the way back into three-leg dog. So hips are square down to the floor. We're going to take the hands down. Adjust your left foot. Send that right leg all the way up. Try to send your left heel down. When you're ready, you can keep your right leg lifted if you want to. We're going to come forward through plank. Chaturanga if you want. And then maybe finding upward facing dog this time. Opening the chest, rolling the shoulders back. And press all the way up, finding downward facing. Pedal the legs. We're going to take our feet wide, toes to the corners. Walk your hands halfway back and start to sink down into the hips. So finding just as low as feels good and then lengthen back up. Sinking down and lengthen up. Keep going a couple of times. Pull up my pants. Seeing if you can maybe get your hips a little bit lower, maybe walk your hands back a little bit. And then if it's comfortable for you, the next time that you're down, let's hold there. Maybe your hands can come off the ground. See if you can roll your shoulders back, reaching your chest forward. And then we're going to do just like we did when we had our feet together. We're going to come all the way up, standing onto our tippy toes. Just coming as high as feels good, and then if you can, we're going to sink back down. So when you're ready, exhaling all the way down. And then we're going to press into the toes, come all the way back up. Squeeze your glutes at the top. One more time here, lifting all the way up, hold. We're going to sink back down into that squat. Hands down onto the floor, walk yourself out into plank, chaturanga if you want. And then find your way to downward facing dog, pedal out the legs. And then we're going to start with the right leg this time. So keeping the hips squared onto the floor, lifting from your right heel, come all the way up into three-leg dog. See if you can keep the hips squared down, send your heel of your left leg down to the floor. When you're ready, we're going to step the right foot halfway up. Plant your back left foot down, lengthen up through your right leg, and we're going to come up, reaching. Hands down onto your hips, square that left hip forward, start to sink forward for pyramid. Inhale to slowly come back up. Exhale down. We're going to come down one more time. And then as you come up, this time you're going to put the weight into your right leg, bend the knee a little bit, reach your left leg up, finding warrior three. Try to keep this hip squared down. Find something to hold on to if you need to. And then we're going to tap the back foot down, lengthening the right leg, sink back down into pyramid. And we're just going to alternate that 3 more times. So coming up, shift the weight forward. Find warrior three, holding on to something to balance if you need to. And then slowly sink back down, lengthen your right leg out. Come forward into pyramid. Come all the way back up. Press the weight into your front foot, lifting. Slowly come back down, lengthen up. Find pyramid. Come back up. Last time, reach it forward. Sink it down, lengthen up. See if you can come a little further forward in that pyramid pose. You can bring your hands down, fingertips can come onto the floor. Try to keep your spine long. Or you can bring your hands into fists behind you. Maybe you have reverse prayer. On your next inhale, we're going to lift all the way up. Pivot onto your toes, widen out through the feet. Sink down into goddess. See if you can reach your chest, open your knees up. Holding here. And then we're going to sink over into the right leg, lengthening out the left. And then come back over. This next time, if you want to, you can sink all the way down. And we're gonna hold on the right side. So you can sink all the way down, try to get your heel down towards the floor. You can stay up in that higher side lunge. If you're all the way down, see if you can maybe get your heel down, maybe bring your hands to your heart. And then we're gonna come back in through center, turn your toes so the insides of your feet are parallel to each other, and we'll just find a wide forward fold. Try to send your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Noticing any difference you're feeling in how each foot or each leg feels. On your next inhale, we're going to come halfway up. Walk your hands over to the left, finding a low lunge, so your back knee's off the ground. See if you can lengthen through your spine, squeeze your right glute. And we're going to do like we did before. Your left leg's going to go all the way up into a reverse, not into a reverse, into a three-leg dog with the hips square to the floor. So plant your hands and send that left leg all the way up. See if you can get your right heel down. And then when it feels good for you, we're just going to shift ourselves forward, finding a three-leg plank if it feels good. Come down, and then maybe upward facing dog. All the way back to downward facing. Pedal your legs. Now we're going to do it all on the other side. So when you're ready, left leg's going to lift again. See if you can get your right heel down. And then we're going to bring that left foot halfway up. Plant your right foot down. Come all the way up. Lengthen up through that right leg. Bring your left leg. Bring your left back. Lengthen your left leg. Right hip forward. Hands onto the hips. Start to sink forward. Your hands can come onto your thigh if you need to. Try to bring that right hip forward the whole time. Lifting up and lowering back down. Last time coming down, and then we're going to lengthen all the way back up. Put the weight into your front leg, hands can be on your hips. We're going to sink the weight forward. Find warrior three. Try to keep both hips square to the floor. Use something to hold on to if you need to. And then slowly bring that right foot back down. Straighten out your left leg. Sink over for pyramid. Keep a little bit of a bend in that left leg. Maybe you can see mine are shaking so bad. Inhale to come back up. Put the weight into that left leg. Let's find warrior three. And then slowly come back down. Ooh. Leaning forward. Come all the way back up. 2 more times. Hopefully my legs can stand it. Ooh. Sink it back down. Find your way to pyramid. Shaking like crazy. All the way back up. 1 more time. And then we'll bring it back down. See if this time you can come a little further forward in your pyramid. So bringing that right hip forward, maybe your fists together behind you. Our hands in prayer. I'm going to bring my hands down to the floor. When you're ready, we're going to come all the way back up. Woo. Turn the legs, widen them out, sink down into goddess. squeezing through your glutes. Press into the balls of your feet. Maybe you can wiggle your toes around. We're going to do just like we did before. So we're going to start just by sinking over to the left and then to the right. And then this next time that we come over to the left, you can stay high, or if it feels good, adjust yourself, come all the way down. Find that really low lunge. Maybe your hands can come to your heart. Maybe you want to just keep them on the floor like I had mine. When you're ready, we're going to come back over to the right, finding that low lunge, knees off the ground. And this time you're just going to step back into a plank. So stepping the feet back, hands down, shift forward, inhaling up. Find your way back to downward facing dog, and then come onto the knees. Find a child's pose. So try to resume that long, slow breath. Maybe bring your mind back to your intention. So we're going to move to some poses laying on our stomach, but before we do that, spread your fingertips wide, keep the tops of your feet down on the ground, and just see if you can start to move yourself towards like a downward facing dog, stretching the front of those ankles. So you'll press into them, start to lift the hips. Maybe you can reach all the way up, stretching the tops of the feet, and then come down. Just try that a couple of times. Pressing the weight back. My legs are shaking. And then coming down. Slowly make your way down onto your belly. Take a moment here, forehead on your hands, just rock your hips. So when you're ready from here, I'll move my stuff out of the way. We're just gonna bring the arms so they're in cactus shape. So your elbows coming out of your shoulder and then your hand up from there. And you can bring your forehead down off the ground or you can look forward, whatever feels better for you. We're gonna start with the right leg. You're just gonna bring it over, tap it down, and then come back to center and the other side. So if that's too much for your shoulders, you can bring the arms down lower, or you can straighten them out. So we're not so much trying to get the stretch in the shoulder, so do something that feels good for you. You can get the stretch in the shoulder, or just moving in the hips. A couple of times here. Maybe you can reach the foot a little further each time. Maybe you can keep your chest on the ground. Coming back to center when you're ready. And we're just gonna come into cobra, so not cobra, sphinx. The tops of the feet are on the ground, see if you can bring them close together and press into your little toes. Elbows right underneath your shoulder. Wrists are straight out from your elbows. See if you can roll your shoulders back, lengthen up, and try to get the lowest rib towards the floor. You should feel a squeezing in those muscles in your upper back and hopefully lengthening down your front. Press into your pelvis if you need to. Try to keep the crunch out of your low back. good and you want to stay here, stay here. If it feels okay, maybe you can come a little bit higher, straightening out the arms. Still trying to get those low ribs down. Keep pressing into your pelvis. On your exhale, we're going to lower down, forehead onto the hands. Just rock side to side a little bit. And then we're going to come back into a little low cobra. So hands right next to your ribs. Pull your elbows in. Press into your pelvis. See if you can lift your chest up. If it feels good here, maybe you want to lift the legs up and take like a half locust pose. And if that feels good, maybe you can slide your arms back, lifting up here. Keep breathing. Squeeze the glutes. Maybe you can get your legs higher. Pull your belly in. Keep pressing your pelvis into the floor so you're not getting a crunch in your low back. And on your exhale, slowly lower down, just rock side to side. So we're going to do that one more time. Same thing as before, just starting out in your cobra if that feels good. Press the pelvis down, roll your shoulders back. You're just lifting your chest off the ground. And if you want more, you can lift the legs or maybe slide the arms back. See if you can maybe get a little bit higher. Keep pulling your belly in, pressing your pelvis down. Don't forget to breathe. On your next exhale, lower all the way down. Relaxing here. Soles the feet up towards the ceiling and just windscreen wiper the feet side to side. Again, maybe tuning back in with your intention. When you're ready, bring yourself back to center. Slowly press up. Find your way to all fours. Take a couple rounds of cat and cow. And then we're going to bring the knees together. Just slowly sit back on your heels, lengthen up really tall. We're going to inhale the arms up over the head, pull your belly in, just turn your shoulders over to the left, and then let your arms relax down. Maybe you can bring your right arm around, no, your left arm around to touch your right hip. Notice if you're arching your back here, try to pull that belly in so your low back is nice and flat. And we'll just do the same thing on the other side. So lengthen up really tall. As you exhale, twist over to the other side. Keep pulling your belly in, flattening out through that low back. And then coming back into center. So if you have a headstand practice, now's your time to take it. If you don't, you can just skip forward out of this. I'm going to just come into a tripod. So if you don't normally do it, please maybe take it to the wall or skip this. It's really important that you try to get as much weight as you can into your arms. So you can take a basket headstand or you can take tricep pod. I'm just going to come into a tripod, not into the all the way up. So I'm not going to straighten my legs up. I'm just going to bring my legs onto my triceps. So whatever you want to do. If you're taking tripod like I am, bringing your hands down to the floor, you want your elbows and your wrists to be able to take a 90 degree. You're just gonna lift your feet up or your knees up and bring your feet right here. Maybe you can just hang out here. Maybe you can straighten your legs out. Try to press the weight into your hands, keeping it out of your neck. If you're ready, slowly bring the feet down, knees down, and then sink into a child's pose. Take some slow, long breaths. When you're ready, gently coming up. And we're just going to find our way over into seated. So starting out, find yourself just cross-legged. So if that's really uncomfortable for you, you don't have to do it, but it would be ideal. So finding yourself cross-legged, and then we're going to take the left leg just a little bit further forward so that you have it parallel with the front of your mat, and then your right leg is still just going to be on the ground in front of it. So we're not coming into that fire log pose. We're just coming into a little bit of modification. Move the flesh away from your sitting bones if you need to, lengthen tall, and see if you can just sink forward. Letting those knees relax down, reaching your chest. Maybe you can come forward even more, maybe onto your forearms like I am, and just breathe here. When you're ready, we're going to slowly bring ourselves up. We're going to take both feet, start to slide them out. So your right leg's going to come on top of the left. You want to try to get your legs so that your knees are stacked. Your left leg can come straight out if you need to, so just the right leg is bent, if that's more comfortable. If you can keep both sitting bones on the ground with your knees both here and your heels tucked in, go for that. If you can bring your left foot out a little bit further, it makes the stretch a little bit deeper. We're just going to lengthen up really tall. See if you can press forward a little bit. Try to keep pressing into that right hip if you have both legs tucked under, so you don't want to come off onto the left. When you're ready, slowly coming up. Right leg's going to come onto the ground. You can tuck that left leg under you further so that you can sit down all the way, or again, lengthen it straight out in front of you, and we're going to take a twist. So you can twist towards your top leg or away from it, whatever feels more comfortable. Sometimes it just feels a little bit too closed off coming towards it. So I'm going to twist away, lengthening really tall. We're going to reach the arms up over the head, just like we did before, and then twist whichever way feels good for you. So pulling your belly in, twisting over, and just let your arms relax down. Maybe the back arm can come around your low back. Try to widen through your shoulders. On your next exhale, come back to center. We're going to take this right leg, lengthen it out to the side. Left sole of the foot's going to come to the inside of the right thigh. And we're just going to lengthen up as tall as we can. Turn our chest towards our left leg and slowly start to slide the right hand down towards the right foot so you're coming into a side bend. If it feels good, we're just going to take the left arm back behind us. Maybe you can grab your right foot, or if you like to, you can bend your right arm, making a little shelf for your head. When you're ready, using your right hand, press yourself back up. Hand under the knee, bring yourself back to center. We'll do the other side. So your right leg's going to come on bottom this time. Try to bring the shin, so that it's parallel with the front of the mat. And then you're just going to bring your left leg right in front of it. Move the flesh away from your sitting bones. Lengthen really tall and start to sink down. Maybe walking yourself out. Notice if this side feels harder or easier than the other side felt. On your next inhale, gently start to walk yourself back up. We're going to do just like we did before. So both feet are going to start to slide out. You're going to bring your left knee on top of the right knee. If you need to straighten out your right leg, that's cool. Go for it. Try to bring both, Try to bring both sitting bones onto the floor so you're pressing the weight over to the left, and then just sink it forward. Notice if this side feels any different than the other side felt. On your next inhale, gently come up. We're just going to bring the left foot flat down onto the ground. Adjust your right leg as much as you need to, maybe straightening it out. And just like before, we're going to come into a twist. So if you twisted away from your bent knee last time, or your top leg last time, you're going to twist away again, or twist towards it if you did it towards last time. So same thing as the other side. So I did away from it, so I'm going to lengthen up and just turn over towards the right and let my arms relax down. My right arm's going to come back behind me, and I'm going to try to get as wide through the shoulders as I can. So lengthen up, exhale, pulling in through your core. Let this arm be relaxed. It's not twisting you. On your next exhale, gently unwinding, taking that left leg with you right out to the side. Right sole of the foot's going to come into the inside of that left leg. Left hand down, turn your chest towards the right leg, and slowly start to slide over. Pull in through your belly. Right hand's just going to come behind your back, and maybe you want to make a shelf with the left arm for your head. Keep lengthening down both sides and pulling in through your core. On your next inhale, use your hand, gently press yourself up. Take your hand under your knee, slide that leg in. We're just gonna turn so that you're long ways on your mat. Come down onto your back, feet flat on the ground, and your hands are gonna come right where your hips and your thighs meet, and press the low body away from the upper body, just creating traction in the back. Maybe you could scoot your upper body further away. And then when you're ready, releasing, take your arms out to the sides, maybe making a cactus shape, maybe just making a T. We're gonna lift the knees, let them drop over towards the left. Try to relax your right shoulder down, maybe looking over to the right. If it feels good and you need more, you can wrap that right leg around the left leg, just deepening the stretch. Keep pulling your belly in. When it feels good for you, you have your legs wrapped, unwind them, slowly come back to center, even out through your hips, and we'll just let the knees drop over to the other side. And then just like before, if you need more, wrapping that left leg over the right, maybe looking over the left side. Keep pulling in through your belly. On your next inhale, gently come back to center. Unwind the legs, knees into your chest. Give yourself a tight hug. Maybe you want to rock around a little bit, maybe not. When you're ready, take a long, full inhale. Squeeze everything in. And then as you exhale, release everything out. Find somewhere that's comfortable for you to take your Shavasana. If it feels good, take your hands onto your belly and just feel that breath. We'll start with 3 long inhales, taking them in through the nose. And then out through the mouth. And then just let your breath relax back into its natural state. Trying to keep your focus on the way it feels, entering next to your body, maybe the way your hands feel lifting and lowering as you breathe. Maybe just focusing on that intention, repeating it in your mind. slowly starting to bring some movement back into your body. Just starting with your fingers, maybe moving your toes, and then gently making those movements a little bit bigger, maybe just rocking your legs side to side, starting to move through your shoulders. We'll lengthen the arms up over the head, the legs long, take a full deep breath through your whole body. And then as you exhale, just bend one knee at a time. Slowly roll off onto your one side. Pausing here. Taking a moment to notice if you're feeling any differently now than you were at the beginning of class. And just gently beginning to press yourself up, finding any comfortable seat. Taking a moment, just shake out through your shoulders. We'll reach our arms up above our head, lengthen really long, take your palms to touch and lower your hands down to your heart center. Bring your mind back to that intention that you set, repeating it in your mind a few more times. Thank you so much for joining me. So I hope that felt really good. Please like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you want to do for some other classes. You can go over to my Facebook page. There's instructions on there on how you can donate to me if you'd like to do that. Otherwise, I hope that you come back and see me again. Bye.